And to be a wish granter means you get to make a child's wish come true. It's the best thing in the world. It's like Christmas every day. There's not one right answer. There's multiple wrong answers. Yes. You feel so great when you are able to help others, and it sort of broadens your world perspective.
All right, hey guys, welcome back to the studio. Today we have the beautiful Kimberly Posin-McConnell in the studio today. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Absolutely,
so cool.
Yes. I'm so excited to chat with you today. And we connected through mutual friends. And my friend Lisa Husher, who you were just at the Bestbuddies event with, the gala.
Yes, the Bestbuddies Champion Gala. It's so fun. I wish you could have gone, but It's a gala that champions individuals who have been involved in the community for Bestbuddies, which is an incredible organization.
I love it. Will you talk a little? I have my own nonprofit organization, and I work with the special needs community, people with diverse needs, for 30 years now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I started my organization back in 2016. It's something I'm very passionate about. We provide 24-hour in-home care and transportation for individuals so they can, very similar to the Best Buddy, the idea of the Best Buddies, and it's to connect, community, connectedness, and companionship are the 3 C's of my organization.
I love that.
And I love connecting young folks. People can't drive. Not everyone drives, and they still need social activities. They want to connect with their community, and they have jobs, and they want a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a social
Not everything can be on Zoom.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. It's bringing people together, and Best Buddies is part of the community and bringing people together.
Yes, Best Buddies is an incredible organization. If people are not familiar, it was founded by Anthony Kennedy Shriver and provides opportunities to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, IDD. Now, as for my involvement, though, my involvement started with ice cream. So in 2017, I was at Cold Stone Creamery in Sherman Oaks in Los Angeles, saw a poster for Best Buddies, thought it sounded great, emailed to them, and I went to their happy hour, which is networking, friendship, and leadership development, and I was hooked from there.
Wow.
It's been ice cream ever since.
Yeah. There's a few other organizations you're involved in too, which I think is amazing. We talked a little bit off camera about those. Would you share with the audience?
Oh, sure. So I'm also involved with Make-A-Wish Foundation. I've been a wish granter since 10 or 11 years now. And then I'm also involved in CASA, court-appointed special advocate, which is for children in foster care.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay.
So explain what you said with Make-A-Wish, a wish granter.
Yeah.
Give a little
Okay.
detail on
So Make-A-Wish is an organization which provides wishes to children with life-threatening medical illnesses. And to be a wish granter means you get to make a child's wish come true. It's the best thing in the world. It's like Christmas every day. It's people will sometimes say, well, is that sad, volunteering for Make-A-Wish? No, it's great. It's the best thing to hear what a child's true wish is, to help make it come true. Not everyone gets to be that. It's like I'm Santa Claus.
It's a celebration of life too. It's a celebration of the person's life. You're really, helping bring something to fruition.
Oh, absolutely. And research has shown that being involved with Make-A-Wish improves a child's compliance with taking their medication, which in turn might help their prognosis. So if you don't want to take your medicine, it's been a long day, but you're going to meet LeBron. Yeah. LeBron would want you to take your medicine. Yes. So, help us with that. We get so jaded being adults, right? But think being a kid and having your one wish come true. It's truly an amazing thing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So many great initiatives that you're involved in. That's so important in the community. And I find that very inspiring, and it can be awfully draining being an empathetic person and pouring into others when you do so much. And I've had so many great conversations with you since I've gotten to LA and started, since we've started talking about coming together to do the podcast. But I always like to bring up wellness practices for people. Like when you give and you pour into people and all the people that are around you, you're a natural caregiver, I think.
Thanks.
And I always like to show the audience wellness practices. What are some of the wellness practices you do to pour back into yourself? Because I know, as you just mentioned, all these great initiatives that you're a part of, it's giving energy away. But like, how are you pouring back into yourself?
That's a great question. And, it reminds me of a cartoon, a movie, Kung Fu Panda. I don't know if you know it. Okay, so Jack Black was great on it.
Of course.
So there's one line from the movie, and I mean, this is going to be a big spoiler if you haven't seen Kung Fu Panda, but there's a line in Kung Fu Panda that says, there is no secret ingredient, because they're like, how do you make the wontons? How, what's the secret? There is no secret ingredient. So like, there's not one thing that I can say as one quick trick to restore your soul, but there's a lot of different sort of ingredients that taste great when combined together.
Yes.
They are restorative. For me, volunteering, I feel, does actually fill my cup, or it's like sow a seed in your time of need. Having gone through a lot of traumatic losses in my life, I do find that giving back helps me. It can get into
we get each other, because this is me too.
Yes.
So while I do know how to pour back into myself and I have my wellness practices, that is what fills my cup, is giving to others. And most people that doesn't resonate with. So I'm so happy to be sitting there and you sharing that with me. That's really
unusual.
cool.
We're two odd birds then.
Yeah.
We're like birds of paradise.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
So I mean that surely does help. Physically getting around. I used to be a runner. I ran a half marathon, so you can be half impressed.
Yeah. I'm fully impressed.
Okay.
Yes.
Walking, getting my 10,000 steps in, gamifying it. Oh gosh, I love to go to the Korean spa, which is like rooms, different steam rooms. I see you nodding.
Yes. I love it.
Yes. It just, to be in a whole room where all your attention is sort of how you feel, like, the stones, the temperature, like breathing in. And there's even a room there called oxygen room, which I'm like, I feel like, aren't all rooms oxygen rooms? But
Right.
no, this is like breathe in the good, breathe out the bad.
Clean oxygen.
Yeah, clean oxygen. Yeah, clean oxygen.
Yeah.
I find that helps too. Another thing is, okay, well, this is going to sound strange, but having been through a lot of traumatic things, having a weird explanation or a funny explanation of why do all these things keep happening to me, strangely helps. So in the movie The Emperor's New Groove, the main character has like the angel and the devil on his shoulders,
Yes.
trying to decide on a big decision. And so the angel's like, no, you should do good, because it's, it's a good thing to do. And the devil's like, well, but wait, I can do this. And he does like one armed push-up sort of. And the angel's like, what? That's not a reason. And then the character's like, well, no, he has a point. He can do one armed push-up. So my point being, if you're like, well, I don't know why all these major traumatic things happen to me, but you know what? I can dance pretty good. Well, maybe
Yeah.
I can't. I can, or like I can go get ice cream with someone. Does that solve the existential question? No. It's a little bit funny. I don't know. So having a weird, funny explanation helps me.
Well, you know how to put a positive spin on it.
I guess so, yeah.
And things aren't necessarily happening to you, they're happening for you. Because I think, coal under pressure produces diets.
Oh,
right?
yeah, right,
So like
right.
one experience, you think, like when I went through my journey and starting my nonprofit, it was literally like one thing after another. Like I couldn't believe the things that had happened leading up to. And then as I was going through the experience, I went through a spiritual journey. I was processing like the loss of my brother. I had a 15-year relationship come to an end, and then employment relationship come to an end of 20 years. So it was a lot of change at once for me. And it was like one of those, I did have a couple of days where I was like, why is this happening to me? But then I realized it was happening for me, and it was putting that spin that you just so eloquently put. We all have that double angel on the shoulder. It's just like the Emperor's New Groove, like you referenced. And that's fascinating. And, throughout those trials and tribulations, I think that when you have the mindset of how to navigate through those times, like we were talking off camera about grief and loss as I referenced my brother passing away, and you shared with me your father passed away. And that was, another one of those stories where you're learning how to process and figure out, how to navigate through life now without your father present.
Yes, that was maybe 3 or 4 of a series, actually, traumatic things that happened to me. In 2004, I lost my brother, who was 19 years old at the time. In 2005 was Hurricane Katrina. I'm from New Orleans, also, which of course devastated the city. And the short version is, while my family was evacuated, my dad was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he passed 6 months later, 2006. And then unfortunately, we lost our home post-hurricane in 2007. So quite a couple of years. It's like Thor, like picking up his hammer and putting it down again.
Yes.
Hammer, put it down again. Yeah. It's all Disney references.
Right. Well, what a positive way to look at that. And so, because there's always what I know about Disney movies, I don't know a ton, but I always know that there's a positive.
I was a Disney adult. I
get it. I listened to the books as a child. I had the books, not the movies, but I loved your reference to it. And everyone's journey is different, right? Everyone experiences different things. And anytime that I was going through those experiences, I would always have a conversation with somebody that went through another level of devastation.
Yeah.
Help me put things into perspective for myself. And in your story too, like it was a series of events, because as we know, when it rains, it pours.
Yes. Well, grief is not a contest. If it is, I would like to retract my contest entry, please. I'd like to enter the California lottery instead, and we're likely to win that one.
Yes.
And and certainly, you never know what someone is going through. And, certainly I'm not, again, I don't want the gold trophy of grief or anything. But I do think, to your point, though, a thing that has helped me is David Attenborough, the narrator on many nature documentaries. So while all this was happening to me, in about 2007, I think, is when the series Planet Earth came out. I don't know if you've seen it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, actually. Yes.
Yeah, I remember it was so great. And so there's an accompanying commercial to Planet Earth that is called "The World is Just Awesome, Boom Diada." That's the name of the commercial. So you got to go look it up after you watch this.
Yes.
And it just it makes you to think of the world holistically, right? So like as we're talking now, like salmon are swimming upstream or downstream, no, upstream. Yeah, bear upstream. Yeah. Bears are hibernating. The seeds that have been planted earlier, like, are now growing. To think of just the whole world. The world is just awesome. It's got a lot of sad things, sorrowful things, but the world is just awesome. That helps me somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love it.
If I could go to space, then I would, but not like as a billionaire. I just want to see it.
Yeah, experience.
Yeah.
Yes, be present in the moment. I think that I love your perspective on how you're sharing everything. I had some of the same wellness practices. I found my way to sauna and healing and processing trauma and all of the things that life has to offer, and it's always paired with good and bad, right? So while I was experiencing my series of events, there were beautiful things unfolding, which I realized in the process. And I think that, while I processed the loss of my brother, it wasn't just the loss of my brother because it seemed like death would come in threes. And it was then a dear friend of mine from high school. And then, as you just shared, that's the way it is. And what I had to do was shift my perspective on celebrating life. And sometimes still experiencing the grief is part of that process for me. And so I embrace the grief now. I lean into the days of the grief, but I do try to focus more on the celebration of the time that I had with the person, because it helps to heal, within my heart and during that process.
That completely makes sense. So I had this weird experience in 2004 that I think speaks to, you can be both happy, not happy at the same time. It's weird, but it works. Okay, so I'm in Greece, and it's a couple months after my brother had passed away. I'm there with my dad, and I'm going running. As mentioned, I like running. That's 2004, so I have my cool iPod with cool songs on it. So I'm running. I run to the edge of the cliff. It's beautiful, the Grecian sea, the clouds. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm not happy. I should be happy. I mean, I'm in Greece. Come on, get with it. But I'm not happy. And what I wish someone had said to me then, because I'm in Greece, I wish the clouds had opened up and Zeus would come down and said to me, you might not be 100% happy, like ever. Like maybe you can be like 90% happy, 95% happy, but it's okay. Like I wish someone had told me that, because at the moment I'm like, I'm maybe 90% happy. I recognize I'm in a beautiful place. I recognize this is amazing, but I can't I can't get there. I can't get to be truly happy again. And like, maybe that's okay. Even for the rest of your life, I don't know, maybe that's okay. 90% still like what, A minus?
Right.
I was only ever B student. I don't know.
Right. Agreed.
So I wish someone had told me that, because, I mean, having lost your brother too, as we were talking about, people say weird things to you all the time, and you're maybe expected to like perform for them or be okay. Like maybe it's okay if you're not okay. It could have been 90%, 85%.
It's weird to have to process and feel like you have to be okay all the time, right? Like you have to present well, and it's like, well, there's bad days, and sometimes the days met with grief, I just learned to lean into it. And the anniversaries are a thing too, right?
Yes.
Like we talked about, we were talking about off camera, birth dates and.
Yeah, holidays are very hard for me, even still now, holidays. And, I've tried like everything with holidays. Okay, so this one year, actually, I flew to Australia specifically. Wow. So that's extreme. Yeah. Specifically so that I would miss Christmas Eve. So like arrived to Melbourne on Christmas Day, and it was like a weird time at the airport, but surprisingly, it did not cure my grief.
Right. It follows you. It comes right along with you.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Okay, so speaking of following you, so, I mentioned that beautiful moment in Greece. Okay, I had another moment like this in not quite as pretty a place as Greece. I was in the basement of CBGB's, the iconic New York bar, like the Ramones.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So, got the t-shirt.
Yes. I do too. Yes. You got to? Okay. So this is in 2006. My father had just passed, and I was working in New York. I had to delay flying out to New York for my dad's service, and it was also my first time flying to New Orleans was for my dad's funeral service, post-Katrina, my dad's funeral. Anyway, okay, so then after that, I had to fly to New York. Okay, basement of CBGB's. Seeing this like experimental band, real cool. And during the set, this lady comes out with the band, and she has a tall hourglass. She starts like, it's kind of like a weird, cool band, right? So she starts talking about the sands of time, and like one side of the hourglass represents people who were born. The other side of the hourglass represents people who have died. And it was like, oh, like, can't I just go out and have a good time for once? Yes. Like, why do these things keep happening to me? And it's like, man, like in Greece, here, Australia, I can't get away from it. It's like Jonah and the whale. Like I cannot get away from it. So, these weird moments, I'm sure you had weird moments all the time. Yeah, you had NASA all the time. I sort of maybe think of grief like it's a shadow. So like you always have your shadow, I think. I don't know exactly how
I hear exactly what you're saying. It makes sense.
Yeah, I don't even have to tell it to you.
Nope.
Sometimes it's big shadow, sometimes it's a small shadow, but maybe it's not always bad. Like Peter Pan had shadows too. Yeah. And like maybe it's okay that you always have a shadow because it's there with you. Yeah. We're talking about
it's just part of moving on, because you don't lose the people that you've lost. They're still with us, right? And so that's just part of like my process, is just accepting like, well, I have those memories with me forever from the time that we shared, right? And so their time was real. It was here.
Yeah.
Right. And we shared in those memories together. So that's not lost. It's not gone anywhere. Those memories are like a shadow, just like you explained. Right?
Yep. It comes up in quiet and weird ways. Like, so my middle brother, Rick, a song that we liked is called 21 Questions by 50 Cent. Yeah. And so we had a little joke going on, 'cause in the lyrics, he like asks this question. So we keep it like, is that 3 questions or 2 questions? Like, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still love me? Is that 3 questions or 2 questions? Yeah. So, but like that phrase has stuck with me. So like even now, if someone asks me something, in my mind, like, is that 3 questions or 2 questions?
Right.
Can I ask you a question, or is that 3 questions or 2 questions?
Yeah.
I don't know, right? And so like that's like a funny thing. But then right after he passed, that song would still be on the radio, and you're like, oh, like, or when it comes on now,
I
right?
have a special connection to songs, music,
Yes.
numbers. So we share our mutual friend Lisa Huscher, who I often talk about angel numbers, and I started tuning into different synchronicities like that, where I would be driving and it would be I would see my brother's phone number or address on a license plate, and I would have just been thinking about it. And then I'm pulling up to a stoplight, and then boom, there it is. Or I'll see it on a sign or an address of a building.
Oh, that's very interesting. You know what? While you were talking, I know this is gonna sound weird. While you were talking, I'm like how do we think while we were talking? Because I'm like, I'm not good at math when you're saying that with the numbers. And it's almost like I could feel or hear my brother being like, she's not good at math.
I love it. Right. And no, I don't do any math, but that it's just like the last 4 digits of my brother. I'll be thinking about him,
and that the song will come on, like the song "Let's Go Crazy," Prince would come on.
Yes.
And I had put the intro to that song where he says, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life." So I put that on one of those like menu boards with the little letters. So I have that in my studio, in my podcast studio, in the dressing room. And then like little things like that, like certain songs come on and then the numbers line up where it's like I'll be driving, hearing that song, and then boom, I'll immediately think of him and then see like our childhood phone number, like the last 4 digits of our childhood phone number come up, or our childhood address or his address.
Oh my gosh. I think it's good that you are open to these things. Maybe you're further along perhaps in your journey than I am, because even like for me still, whenever I meet someone new, I like meeting new people. I like meeting new people.
You're a people person.
Don't be afraid to meet me.
Yeah.
And also, when I meet someone new, I feel it start. Okay, so it's like a balloon starts building up inside me of like, when am I going to have to tell them about all these traumatic things? Bigger, 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 bigger. Like it's going to pop one day. I'm going to like tell them all this. And it often does come out like, yeah. So, or they'll be like, we ask a innocuous question and just like explode and tell them everything. Or some people do not know all these things about me, or like maybe mention 1 or 2, or sometimes like you have to drag the information out of me. But I think what you're saying is good, to be more forthcoming. Like, this feels pretty good talking about.
Well, when you feel safe in someone's presence and it's very organic, it's very comfortable. So like we had that, I think right off the bat when we met, just in person for the first time, and then just having a conversation with our mutual connection, Court, off camera, in the green room, just connecting like that, sharing stories. Those stories just came organically, I think, and that helps.
Yes.
And it's not like we have to share everything all at once, but one story connects with, and resonates with someone else and prompts that person to share.
Yeah, I suppose there's no control group for life, so like maybe I would have turned out different if these things didn't happen to me. But I feel like going through grief has made me be more nihilistic, definitive. Like when I meet someone, it's like, are you going to be cool with this precious thing that I have? We're in LA, right? So an unspoken rule of living in LA, there's less celebrities around. So when you meet a celebrity, it's like the unspoken rule is, be cool, man, be cool. Don't rush up. Don't be like asking a lot of questions. Be cool. So it's almost like we're like grief celebrities.
Right.
So it's like when you meet someone, like, are you going to be cool? Or, can I let you into my sacred space of information, or tell you how I even feel about it? Because telling them info, what happens, different from how do I feel about it? How am I doing now?
Right.
And this, when you tell people, you sometimes get like the wide eye emojis back look. You're like, okay, do I have to manage your reaction to what happened to me?
Right.
Now?
Because that's another thing to carry. I feel that too when I've had that happen, or oversharing when you feel. I've oftentimes had conversations where I felt like I overshared, like accidentally.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Like the balloon pops. And
Yes.
then you're like, walk back. Moonwalk.
Yes, and maybe there wasn't even an indicator of a reaction from the person, but then I've like later gone home and processed everything I've just shared, and I'm like,
Gosh,
I
you do
shared
that
too
too.
much.
When I go home from a party, what is everything that I said?
Yes, you played it back in your head, and I'm like, oh, I really got to dial that back. But I think that sometimes when you're engaging with people in your relationship building, organically your body will tell you who to comfortably share with.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
It's almost like maybe there's 3 camps of people going through grief. So like camp number 1 is people who do mean well, but it's just what they say or how they act is just not helpful to you, and it's maybe not really even their fault. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
I
someone's
do.
like, oh, how'd you sleep last night? You're like, bad. It's not bad. Like stop. Like but they mean well.
It becomes a demand, and I don't even.
Yeah, it
think
becomes
people-
a demand. That's a good way to
Yes.
put it.
I don't think
Yes.
people even understand.
No,
like,
and they
how
need to.
demanding they're being questioned.
Bad, like calling them out on those, but
Sure.
that exists. Okay, it exists.
Yes.
Okay, so like then camp 2 is people who are just like ostentatiously rude. Just what I mean to say, just ostentatiously rude things. When Katrina happened, and it's a lot of discourse that was unhelpful, let's put it that way, for me. And it's just okay. So let's just say they're camp 2. Camp 2. And then camp 3 is a very small camp, like only a couple of campgrounds there. People who are like truly there for you, show up, are helpful. I'd say I didn't really have that when I went through these things, but one person said something which was, hey, are you even remotely okay? And I was like, I can breathe. It's when you turn on the shower and like the water comes out for
Yes. Very
You're like,
cleansing.
yeah, you're like, thank you. I am not remotely okay.
Right.
Thank you for recognizing that. Like I can like exhale when I'm around you. I don't know if you've had.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
right?
there's people that have the opposite effect on me, where I feel like, oh my gosh, like the balloon is just expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding, which is like more stress, right? It was more stressful because I don't feel comfortable around the person. And oftentimes you don't understand the intentions of someone wanting to know if you're okay, if you're not, or is it just table talk for the next conversation you're going to say, oh my gosh, this person's just,
It's
a mess. And it's like, well, everyone's just kind of a beautiful mess. We're all carrying
Everyone's a
trauma,
mess.
right?
Yes.
Everyone's just collectively a mess.
especially in this town.
Right. And so it's just navigating and finding your people that you vibe with. And I think to be able to share and feel safe with. Everyone just wants to feel safe, accepted, and at ease around people.
Yes, I agree. So, I mean, you being an expert in the podcast, let me ask you a question. Hello, welcome to the Kim Show. My question for you is, for anyone watching who knows someone who is going through or has gone through a traumatic time, what would you say to them? How to be helpful to this person? Like, how would people be helpful to us having gone through?
Yeah, I would say, just kind of leaning into the grief, like don't fight, right? Like I railed against it for so long, and I had so many, because you lost your brother and he was at a young age, as were you. And so for me, I was taking care of my family, my parents. I was putting the funeral together and all those things. So I didn't have a moment really to lean in. Also, I was very young, so I didn't have necessarily the toolbox
Same.
to tap into. But I think listening to other people sharing their stories can provide you the tools. Like I took away tools from you, even though I'm 20 plus years along in the process of, my brother's passing. And so there's always something new that comes along, or someone amazing that I get to talk to, like yourself, that helps me further along that helps me, add another tool into the toolbox and further along the healing process, because I think it's just an ever evolving thing, I think.
True. Like there's no one secret ingredient.
No,
That's true.
I love that you said that. So thanks for coming back to that. You made a really great point when you had started talking about the ingredients. That really resonated with me. Thank you for sharing it from that perspective, because it is.
It's yes. True. You make a good point. There's different true, right. There's not one thing you can do. It's like, it's like there's not one right answer. There's multiple wrong answers.
Yes.
I mean, for what I would say to someone else who might be watching this, knowing someone going through tragedies, and it would be remiss if we didn't say here in Los Angeles, of course, we did have the fires in Altadena and Pacific Palisades, and people going through a similar thing. No one's journey or tragedy is exactly the same, but going through a similar thing. It's just a weird note. It's weird to go back and going back when I went back to Morons the first time, and like the street signs being gone. Like you think you know how to drive somewhere, but the street signs being gone and seeing damage just really is upsetting. So unfortunately here, people are experiencing the same thing. But what I was mentioning, like there's multiple things you can do, though not necessarily one right answer. I think I found helpful is practically people helping you, like get someone a coffee, right?
Very simple.
How you said leaning into the grief. Someone said to me once, it's okay to just sit here and be sad. Like, we can just sit here and be sad. I'm like, thank you. I don't have to like perform for you. I'm okay. How are you?
Yes, exactly.
With my bad news.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Right. There's not one right answer. There's multiple wrong answers.
And I like that. It's like how you pointed out the ingredients again, because there were many wellness practices that I had taken on to heal various traumas that I've experienced throughout life. And people will ask me, what's the one thing? And I said, well, I really couldn't pinpoint one thing because I was doing various things. I got into skydiving. I took up jujitsu. I took guitar lessons.
doing that's cool. She didn't have, well, that's good for you. But like doing weird or unusual things. I think that was traveling for me. Doing weird, unusual things, like when I'm like walking on a glacier in New Zealand, right? So like get yourself out.
I was getting out of my comfort zone.
Get out of your comfort zone. Get out.
Doesn't mean that it's not like you're ever escaping the thing. It's always there, like you pointed out.
CBGB's basement, always there.
Exactly, because it's always going to come back around. But it was just me getting out of my comfort zone and learning how to, love myself during that process and not feeling shame for owning the guilt or experiencing the guilt.
Yeah, I agree. And giving back to others, I think super helps. I'm going to quote our mutual friend who said it's like mainlining philanthropy. Like you feel so great when you are able to help others, and it sort of broadens your world perspective too. If you help others have different challenges, it's another one. So like if you're sad, go help someone.
I always fills my cup. So that's like I have been a part of various groups since I was 15 years old, just getting involved. I love giving back. I love community, and I love just experiencing the joy of participating in activities with others that are, experiencing diverse needs,
Yes. Okay. So for example, Bestbuddies, I'm involved in a lot of their events. And so one thing we love to do is karaoke. I don't know if you're a karaoke connoisseur.
The folks that I get involved in you never want to hear me sing karaoke.
Well, I mean, I didn't actually say, we get A for enthusiasm. After the 2-drink minimum, yes. So like there's 2 ways to do karaoke, right? There's like in a room separately, where it's just yourself. Or there's at the bar on the stage with everyone watching you. So with Bestbuddies, we love to get up on the stage, sing your song, dance to the beat. And it's so heartwarming because the bar kind of like all rallies around you, claps, cheers, especially after the 2-drink minimum. So it's just so to your point, like having diverse individuals all enjoying activity together, or like going toward a common goal, even if the common goal is like try to hit the notes in Summer Night.
Yes, right. So, but the individuals that I've been so blessed to have in my life have just enriched my life so much. And they're all my greatest mentors. I've said it from the beginning of time. I'm like, these are my greatest mentors because they teach me how to have fun and how to relax and how to be in the moment and how to be present. And they always have gifts to share and for me to experience, and that's a blessing. And so one of the things that it's not like karaoke, but it has a similar vibe to what you just described. Those folks can get me to do anything. So I always say yes, and they always get me out of my comfort zone. I usually have it's nothing that's ever in my wheelhouse, but I'll do it because they can get me to do anything. And so they got me to do this cardio drum activity where we would go. It's physical activity. So you take like the big yoga ball and you put it on top of a bucket, and then you got the drumsticks, and they turn on the music and the lights, and you're doing cardio drum. That's quite a workout.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even keep up with them. I just do normal like weights and things like that. Nothing fun. But that was like a whole new experience for me. And that was like very similar to what karaoke would be in my wheelhouse. Like, wow, that's really getting out of my comfort zone and doing all this movement with dance and music. And, you know, I'm great. I sound just like the music artist in my Jeep when I'm by myself.
Oh,
but if you were to record me, it'd be not so good.
You know, A for enthusiasm.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's so fun to get out of your comfort zone, I guess would be another tip for everyone. Do weird, unusual things, especially things that's like for a good cause.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, in CASA, the other organization which I volunteer, they have a saying, just showing up is extraordinary.
Yes.
So like show up. Ice and social, show up. Drum, cool things, show up.
Exactly.
Just showing up is extraordinary.
And one step leads to the next. So it's like just getting yourself in the room. Like I was getting out of my comfort zone during times of trauma, during COVID actually. And my organization is essential. So it's 24-hour.
Right. That makes sense.
Right. So we still had to go, still had to show up, and I had to like fill my cup because it was just one hurdle after another during that time, whether it was a payroll issue or
you got to keep the trains running. You know,
the train has to
in
keep
unprecedented times.
Absolutely. And I was getting out and getting into rooms and trying to network with anybody I could that would inspire me, right? Because I needed it. It was me. You know, you're trying to lead and inspire others, but you've got to have that network that can give that to you too, right?
Yeah, that's true. Having a good network is key. You know, if you don't have a good network though, because I felt like I didn't actually until many years later have a good network. Maybe part of it was the internet not being what it is today. I mean, there's so many great opportunities to be connected today. But when I didn't have anything, no network, a thing I would do is like, well, okay, if I were someone else, what would I want this hypothetical version of Kim to do to help me? And then I would do it myself. Yeah. So like, I would go for a walk because a hypothetical version of me would be like, hey, you should go for a walk. I don't know. Maybe it's like, talk to yourself.
I do it. So everything you're saying, I'm resonating with. So if you think I could get it,
they're the only two people.
Seriously, it resonates. I get it. I say all of that.
Right. I'm glad to be able to talk to someone because you feel very isolated in your head.
I did. I relate to what you said too about not having the best network. It was just some people aren't in alignment and you don't even realize it until you do. And then you realize how to take steps to get out of it. And then you created like the best version of yourself. Start talking to yourself.
Create a best version of yourself.
Yeah, right.
That's a better way to put it rather than like, oh, weirdly talk to myself.
I was just sharing with a friend of mine the other day about that practice because he's over in the UK and he gets up and he goes for a walk. And I was explaining that when I would go get lost in the woods, that I would kind of talk out what was in my head, right? And just, he was like, interesting. He was like, I'm going to try that when I go out, because we're all working through something.
Yeah.
And sometimes whether you put pen to paper and write it out, or just you go on a walk and let it come, just organically purge out of your own mouth so you can hear it back. Those were things for me, or like I shared with you too, the practice of going into the sauna and kind of just letting tears flow because it was warm and I was safe.
Yeah, safe space, really. Sauna being a safe space. Oh, interesting. Do you find people ask you a lot about like, where were you when it happened, or like what?
Different people have different questions,
Yeah,
and so I'm always open to. I remember like getting the call where my brother passed away. If we're referring to that time frame, I was sleeping. Right, it was in the morning, and I remember someone telling me that a friend of mine was on the phone, and I was like, "Oh, I'll call her back." And then like my roommate was like, "No, you need to take the call. Something happened. Something happened to your brother." And I was like, "Okay." And I remember and I was like in my boxer shorts or whatever, and when I get on the phone, I have to walk. I pace for some reason when I'm on the phone, right? So I had to get out of bed, and I'm walking, and then the next thing you know, I'm standing on the front lawn outside on the phone in my underwear, and my friend's telling me that my brother, that I needed to call the hospital. She didn't tell me he died, but she already knew, but she didn't feel comfortable being the one to tell, and so I called the hospital. They had told me. I remember the day. I remember the grass. I remember all the details. Right.
That is so let me just tell you, that is so I guess weird. I keep saying weird. I don't have a better word, but the details were exactly what you were wearing. Same for me. So for me, when my brother passed, I had moved to Los Angeles to attend grad school. I was on a study abroad trip in Switzerland in 2004. And so, as we were talking about 2004, there's not cell phones, there's not smartphones. To get the internet, you had to go to a cool place called an internet cafe. I don't remember those. So we're on a mountain in Co, Switzerland. My friends and I went and checked out a cool internet cafe, and I get a message saying, call home. I get email saying, call home when you get this. So, but that's not as easy as it seems, because again, it's 2004. So we ask around and we find there's one red phone booth, like these details, right? Red phone booth. Up the hill in Switzerland, you have to hike up to it. That's where you can make a phone call. So I take my friend with me, and we hike up one red phone booth. It's like Harry Potter, like that kind of phone booth. And so close the door, call home. And that's when I found out my brother had died. And like you, I remember I was wearing cranberry corduroy pants, because again, this is 2004 and we're cool,
Those are back.
They're back. Okay, good. So I get them out. Did you see couture tracksuits? But I remember like the pants. I remember wearing hiking boots, because we're in Switzerland. I put my boot against the wall. I put my back against the wall. I slid down. I remember my friend flew out the door somehow, and then the director of the program has appeared by the door, so it's these details. And so now we're at the top of the phone booth, and I have to figure out how to get down off the mountain in Switzerland, go to the airport, because again, no smartphones change your flight. Went to a little Swiss airport, explain in French what's happening, fly home to New Orleans. And so the details, I remember my hiking boots crunching down the leaves. I remember being wait, I have a suitcase of hiking clothes. I need clothes for the funeral. Right? It was
your mind's racing.
I have to go shopping room in New Orleans, and that's weird I remember being hey, self, that's weird to think about that shopping. You know what I mean? But still, so I remember crunching the hill, the airport, all these weird. It's weird to your world has fractured, and yet you remember these odd details.
And life is still happening around it all. It doesn't stop. Your world seems to stop, but it's all going on around you.
Yeah, and it's it's almost offensive that the world, people are eating sandwiches when my world is fractured. Geez, so my second loss with Hurricane Katrina. So now from my last story. So we fast forwarded. It's 2005. Hurricane Katrina is coming, and I'm in grad school. So I'm doing what grad students do, which is move apartments.
Yeah.
Again, back to the internet in 2005, no smartphones. So I had moved all my things from one apartment to my new apartment, but the internet, I had not switched over the internet yet. The router's in my empty apartment. So for 2 days, I'm trying to call my family on my new cool flip phone.
Yes,
Invention,
I had the same.
2005,
Yes.
red.
I had silver.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Very sleek.
Okay, so I'm trying to call my family. I obviously can't get through. So I sit in my empty apartment for 2 days on my laptop and calling. I'm refreshing my email, refresh, news sites, refresh. Twitter not invented yet, so I'm refreshing like CNN, the local newspaper. For 2 days, not being able to get in touch with my family, like. Are they alive?
Right.
My brother had just passed the year before, so it's not out of the question for me to be like, are they alive? While I'm doing this, other friends call me to go bowling with them, which is nice. Again, they're maybe group one,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's nice of them to invite me. And I'm also like, how can you ask me this? So I feel like I'm in a snow globe.
Yeah.
And like it's being shaken and the snow's going all around. It's full of water. I'm like drowning. Other people can see through to me because the snow globe is transparent.
Yeah.
Yet they have no idea what being in a snow globe is like. They just see through me and think I'm a normal person. But my world, like I'm drowning. Snow is going everywhere. And like I can yell out, but like can't hear outside the snow globe.
Right.
No one understands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never look at snow globes.
Yeah, snow globes. It's like a blizzard when you shake it up.
Yes, exactly. So I'm in a blizzard and also drowning because it's also water,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I can't, and I can't get out. But anyone who's looking at you is like, oh, you're from you would drink it El Sunday, right? Right. It's so strange, such a right.
It is, yeah. And no one really knows what it is that they're carrying or where your process is during that time, right?
Yeah.
So I went through that too, where it was just like there was a period in time where no one was gonna say the right thing or do the right thing, even if their were good. It's just like
No one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I went to, you won't be surprised, Disney for one of my birthdays soon after all this happened. And I remember being like, where should I eat these places under? And then like, kind of like with Grace, okay, excuse you, you're supposed to be happy now. Yeah, but it's like, people can do no right at one point if they're breathing houses. Yeah, that's a tough one, Mike.
It is. And Disney sounds like their safe place. So, Disney, yeah.
We're supposed to hold it, I guess.
That's fun, right? I'm sure. I'm very good bet.
What?
I'm never back in Disney.
Okay, babe, we're going to have to finish recording this.
And go, yeah. I've been to California Adventure
Okay.
years ago when it first opened up and they had the roller coaster with the Mickey.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's Mickey in a lot of places, actually.
I mean, right, but that California Adventure was that the only one that had that roller coaster where it was in a circle.
Yes, that it was upside down.
This was probably the 2001.
Yes, it has changed quite a lot.
Yeah.
So then it's like there's actually a lot of things that's sort of changed since that 2005.
Yeah, but no, I've never been to Disneyland or just yeah.
Okay. Well, we got to go.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to experience this at some point in my
Yes, is their own square there. Yeah, actually, you know what? And like being on a ride or like going fast, adrenaline, also helps with breathe. So there we go. We bet,
I did go to what was it when I was here? I did California Adventure, but also I did Universal Studios.
Yeah, it's Universal Studios. Yeah. Also here. Yes, that's right. Yes, very fun. You have a fast lot tour. Yeah.
I've done some set visits for television shows and things like that, but this was all back like in the 2008s. So I know everything's like evolved,
Yeah, a couple of these things.
Yeah. And I've also been to Ripley's. Is that Barth? Is that here?
Yes.
Then yes, I went to Ripley's also.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, Laps in LA local. That's very sure secret.
Okay, yeah, this is so
That's very cute that you said that. Yes, it's very charming.
Yes, okay, got it. I can't really tell you what I saw there or what went on there because I did so many things in one visit. But it was
Well, you can believe it or not.
yes, birthday school were not in there. So there was Universal Studios, and then what's the other one I'm missing?
It's not very far.
It's very far.
Yeah. That's a little bit further south. And so the story of that is it was not like jam, like Jelly's Jam. And so way back, it was a Jelly Jam place. And people were, I think this was the right story. I'm sure the internet will be like really polite to me if I get this wrong and correct me. But it's something like they make jellies and jams, and people were wait in line to get the jellies and jams because they were so big.
Okay.
And so they started building little attractions while people were waiting in line for the jellies and jams. And so now it's an amusement park. So maybe Napta or in line by using parks like this are.
Yeah, well, I've never been there either, so I'll have to try it.
Okay, the fried chicken there, real good.
Okay. Oh, so it's not just jellies and jams, it's a whole
Yeah,
right?
this whole, so it's an amusement park, and it Halloween attends to not scary fire. Yeah.
Now, how long have you been in LA for? Because you're a wealth of knowledge here. I feel like that when I get out and about, like I'm thinking, you're my tour guide.
Okay, sounds scary. So I've been here since 2003. Yes, 2003. I moved out here to attend grad school. So I was 2 years old, and then measure. So when these things started happening to me. So the Mac degree, I suppose, it's weird because I felt like I was just starting to like become a person.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's how we use metaphor with like a butterfly just starting to come out of the cocoon like a little bit, and then someone just like knocks like a thing down.
Yeah.
So I'm in the car and I'm like, oh what am I gonna be?
I have an analogy similar. It's not the butterfly, it's the surfer, because I was taking surfing lessons and I was in Costa Rica at a trauma healing retreat, actually, right? And so when you're doing the surfing lesson and you get up on the board and you're like, all right, and then the wave comes in and knocks you down. So I get it.
Well, grief actually feels like waves, especially in the first weeks, but beyond that, but for me, at least in the first weeks, from surfing, okay, so the wave, pulls out from the ocean. It's I'm sure there's some science study to describe this, that it builds on itself, gets bigger, it crests, then it crashes, then it goes back out and it emptied out. So it's how it feels.
Yeah.
But then you're I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna cry out right now, but then it crashes. You sort of feel empty, and so doesn't you?
It's a cycle. I explain this to friends when we have organic chats about this. I say, I'll just call a spade, and you say, what your grief wave, right? And go, I just got that by a grief wave. And then we have the little, the GIF that you said, through your phone of the guy surfing and then he gets knocked out, let it wave. I'm like, here's me this week. I'm like, I'm going through a grief wave. But it's real
now to
ourselves. I do. Yeah, I have friends that I'll communicate with, and we all communicate through gifts. It's like his drug fans. Yeah. It's like just get you right.
Yes, that just get you. It's nice. I feel like you just get me.
I feel that too. I had such a great time chatting with you in the studio today. It's been such a blessing. I absolutely love Mike with you.
Me as well, and thank you for taking the opportunity to talk about this, because I've never really talked about this to anyone. So this is a good start, right? Just you and me and the whole introvert, just to graduate you. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just jump into the wave. Jump into the wave. Yes, I love it, and what an honor to sit here and have a chat with you and free to share your stories. And I'd love it if you'd share with the audience link handles for any of the organizations that you're involved in.
Yes. So Best Buddies is Best Buddies CA, also Best Buddies, and CASA Los Angeles, not the blank, but and Make-A-Wish is Make-A-Wish Los Angeles, which I'm involved in, and Make-A-Wish Foundation, just Wish. Yes, please go check them out. But also do what I would say to people: do what speaks to you, and what makes your eyes light up, what gets you excited talking about it. I highly, of course, recommend these organizations, and but should also do it. Speaks to them to liberal make a difference.
I love that. And I always say, like, I have my own nonprofit, but I always encourage people to find the nonprofit that speaks to them, that speaks to their soul. And it might not be mine. That's why I always love to highlight other people's initiatives.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah.
The world is awesome.
Now, where can people find you?
Oh, so I'm on Instagram. So it's KIM_NCC, like McConnell. You can see that brick now.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for spending time being in the studio today.
You might. It's so sad.
Amazing. The beautiful Kimberly Posin-McConnell. Follow her at the links and check out those amazing initiatives that she's a part of. That's a wrap.